Welcome back to my moving vlogs. It is Sunday. We just finished our morning walk in Ultimate Frisbee tournament. I'm happy to report that Odin absolutely smoked the competition. We have a lot to do today. My last update with you guys was that we finally received our visas, which is very exciting. I wish I could show you what those look like, but I don't really want to dox myself, but I'll pop up an example of what they look like. Essentially, it's got your name, photo, the type of visa that you have, and then a date range for when you're allowed to enter the country. We had to wait for our visas to be approved before we could start working on some other things on the to-do list. So now that we have those, we have a lot to accomplish in the next 3 weeks or so. Items on the to-do list include booking our flights, getting Odie's vet appointment for his health certificate, selling Patrick's car, selling my car, canceling our internet, canceling our utilities, transferring my number, canceling my phone plan, forwarding my address, changing my billing address, changing upcoming doctor's appointments, changing retirement investment information, updating my resume in case I need to find a job over there quickly, finding a new bank account over there that I'm qualified to open, finding a pet taxi service to transport us with Odie from the airport, canceling our insurance, packing our bags. I'm not done. The list just keeps going. Every day that I mark something off, we just think of something new to add to the list. So it never actually feels like the list is getting shorter. I don't feel like I'm making much progress, even though I know that we are. It's just a lot right now. Let's see, right now we need to go grocery shopping. I need to return the extra dog jackets that I showed you in the last video. Patrick is going to sell his car today. I need to see about booking our flights now. I need to call the airline to reserve space for Odie. I need to read up on all of his vet requirements and get that stuff moving. We've also still got a decent amount of stuff in our apartment that we need to sort through and get rid of. I got stuff going on.
And what, you're just like the most precious little angel?
I finished up our shopping for the week and oh my god, am I gonna miss Trader Joe's. It's one of the main things I'm already sad to leave behind. Their seasonal stuff just brings me so much dumb joy. My brother and his wife live nearby right now, and they graciously agreed to adopt all my houseplants, which I was happy about. So I loaded those up in my car and dropped them off at their house. We've also been working on using the airplane carrier that I got for Odie, trying to get him more comfortable with riding in it. We've also been trying to get our fill of nutritionally compromised American chain restaurant cuisine. So here's some of that footage. That is my culture, and I have been reflecting on that. The next few days, I just worked on clearing out more stuff from our apartment. We decided to store a few boxes of our personal things with family here in the States, so I picked out my favorite things to keep. I did some computer work, finding our flights, and just researching travel information for us, and then we also had a few more pieces of furniture to sell. We're currently selling our couch right now in another marketplace meetup. And I'm out walking Odie while Patrick deals with that, so I don't get into another fight with a man from the internet. These next few clips are just observational things about my dog that I thought were cute and I wanted to remember. Odie's favorite treat in the entire world is Cool Whip. We Googled if they sell Cool Whip in the UK, specifically for him, and unfortunately all signs point to no. So this was me commemorating his last lick of Cool Whip for a while. I held on to his very first puppy bed from when we brought him home. He was so small he could fully stretch out and not even take up half of it. I've had this in our to donate pile for the last 2 months, and every time I go to get rid of it, he just tries to curl up and lay in it, and it's so sweet and it's so sad and it melts my heart and I can't bring myself to get rid of it. See, there's his big bed and there's his baby bed. All right, Hi, it's about a week later now, I think. We're just chilling on a pile of blankets on the floor these days in absence of our couch. Guys, Odie was so upset when the couch left. I took him outside while Patrick sold it. And when we came back inside, he was running around, crying, looking for the couch. It was very sad. I felt so bad. But I mean, dogs are smart, and he definitely knows that something is up. He does not like all the boxes. He does not like our stuff moving around. He's normally a pretty barky dog. I mean, he's a dachshund, so that's just how they are. But he's been like especially on edge recently, barking at every person, every dog, every trash bag floating in the wind, as if they are the next person to come over and steal our stuff. We have taken a bite out of our to-do list, I would say. We actually have a date now. We have flights booked. We have a place to stay temporarily when we get to London. Let's see, we're down to one car now. We have very little furniture left. We just have our bed and Patrick's work desk left. Odie actually has his vet appointment for tomorrow morning to get his health exams and his health certificates completed. What else is going on? Oh, we've got drama with our apartment in the form of roaches, mice, and mold. The roaches have unfortunately been a problem since we've lived here, really, but the mice and the mold are brand new developments. I think there's a leak or something in the unit above us because we've got mold spreading on our ceiling that we can't get rid of, and I don't even know what to say about the mouse problem. We did name the mouse Milton, which you probably shouldn't do. And not that there's ever a good time to have bugs, mice, and mold, but right now, really not a good time to have bugs, mice, and mold. Or maybe it is because we're moving in 2 weeks and then all the critters can just have this apartment to themselves. Let's see, what else? I am feeling better now about getting rid of our stuff. I was going through it for a second, just the shock of everything and the loss of losing my belongings. But I think I'm okay now. Oh my God, there's literally a roach crawling across the floor right now. Help. I think I've accepted it, and just the fact that we've gotten rid of so much stuff that it really feels like there's no turning back now. I'm also starting to look forward to and imagine what our new home is gonna look like. I think I learned my lesson with buying more expensive furniture before I knew if I was going to be settled in a place long term. So I won't be doing that again. But I want our new place to be more fun, more eclectic, more colorful, mismatched English thrift store is the vision. I do want to make our new place feel comfy and homey, but I also don't want to buy too much stuff and then be in this same position now a few years in the future when we have to move back to the US. So we'll see about that. I think we'll definitely have to find some balance there. I think I'm starting to feel more excited about it in my own way. I think there's some kind of coping mechanism or something wrong with my brain, my body, where I don't allow myself to feel excited or enjoy things because my brain is always just thinking about worst case scenario. My biggest worry up until now was getting our visas. And now that we have those, I was hoping I would feel a little bit more relief, less panic. But I've kind of just moved on to like the next worst thing that could happen, which right now is Odie's vet related stuff. Because if you get that wrong, like your dog will not be allowed entry. They can be confiscated, they can be subject to quarantine. That would really just be a nightmare. So I'm trying to read up as much as I can about the requirements to make sure that the vet appointment tomorrow goes smoothly. I'm also really worried about the flight itself. I mean, we've worked on the carrier a little bit. He'll ride in it reluctantly for snacks, but he doesn't enjoy it. He doesn't want to be in there. And I've seen stories online where the airline can deny your dog coming on the plane, or they can kick you off the plane if your dog is crying or being disruptive. So all of those things are kind of at the forefront of my mind right now. And I imagine once we get things worked out and we're there and we're with Odie, my brain will probably just move on to the next biggest problem, which is finding a place to live. I don't imagine any of this will really fully sink in or feel real yet or comfortable at all until we are settled in our new place. Probably a few months into being over there will I start to feel okay. Although then I'll probably just be worried about money and how much we're spending and not making and what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think I need to work on that because I don't want to be worried the whole time. I want to enjoy our experience and feel happy and explore. I don't want to just move from one worry to the next, but that's kind of how I am. Okay, hey there. We are all done at the vet. We just finished up. Everything went okay, as well as I could have hoped. So now I have Odie's health certificates, which I think I mentioned before that we had to get him 2 certificates, one for the UK and one for the EU, since we will be traveling into France first and then driving into the UK. The UK actually doesn't allow pets to travel into the country in the cabin, in the airplane cabin with you. They can only fly as cargo. And so to circumvent that, we are flying into Paris with Odie in the cabin with us. And then we're corresponding with like a pet taxi service that specializes in this sort of thing. So driving passengers with their animals into the UK, which is what we're doing. It doesn't stop here with getting his certificates. I think I might make a dedicated video on this process once I've been successful maybe in relocating a pet overseas, because it's quite complicated. The gist of it is you have to have a health exam or health certificates completed by a USDA certified veterinarian. And then once you have those certificates, you have to mail them to the USDA APHIS office in your state, which is the US Department of Agriculture Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services, something along those lines. That office deals with the import and export of animals and plants to and from the country. So they actually have to sign off on your animal's health certificates that you did everything right and you meet all of the requirements for the countries that you're traveling to. And then once they endorse your certificates, they are mailed back to you, and then you are free to fly with, I guess the condition of the UK actually requires animals to be treated for tapeworms 1 to 5 days before entering the country. So we have one more vet visit to take Odie back to, we're going the day before we fly, so he can have his tapeworm treatment and then he will be good to go. It's been quite a stressful process with him, especially because he's such an anxious little guy. And to make the timeline even more crunched, we are in the holiday season. So I'm going to take the health certificates to UPS right now and overnight them to the USDA. And then I've paid for those certificates to be overnighted back to us once they've completed. So we're just crossing our fingers and hoping that we get them back in time and nothing is wrong. I just stopped by Starbucks and got myself a chai latte, which I know I should not be spending money on Starbucks as somebody who is recently unemployed and spending an astronomical amount of money to move their entire life overseas. I know I did not need to be spending money on Starbucks, but for the 5 to 10 minutes that it'll take me to drink this drink, I'm gonna be so happy. What's that TikTok sound that's like, did you know by removing your daily cup of coffee, you can reduce up to 80% of the little joy you have left in this world? That's me right now. Okay, we are entering the home stretch here. This was our last week in the apartment. We had to disassemble the last few things. We watched a lot of Lord of the Rings in the background, extended cut of course. Here's me packing up the last bits of our kitchen, pots and pans, remaining dishes, and then it was time to tackle a space I have been putting off this whole time, which is my art closet. I've been collecting art and craft supplies for probably over a decade. I have a lot of random items, charms, decorations, literal sticks. Some might call it trash, but I see potential art in everything. Ultimately, I decided that I was just too sad and stubborn to get rid of it all. I did get rid of a lot, but not everything, and I decided I would pay to bring an additional suitcase completely dedicated to my art supplies, which made may sound stupid to some people, but it's my main hobby. It's important to me. Plus, it'll be about $200, I think, to ship the additional luggage. And I know I have more than $200 worth of stuff in there. So to me, it's worth it. And I won't have to start completely from scratch when we get there. Then it was time to actually pack the rest of our luggage: clothes, shoes, toiletries, life stuff that we would need immediately. I'm about to go sell my car. I'm really sad. I love my car so much. Hello, it's been about a week later, I think, since my last check-in. We have successfully gotten all of our furniture out of the apartment, and now we are in packing and cleaning mode. We have turned what was our bedroom into kind of like the keep room. So everything in here we're keeping. We've also got our suitcases in here that we're starting to pack. And then the other bedroom we've turned into the Goodwill room, basically the donate room. Not a ton of stuff in here, but a good amount that we need to still take to donate. The problem with packing right now is that I still just have way too much stuff. Patrick did a much better job of thinning down his wardrobe. I still have a lot left and not a lot of suitcase space, so I still need to make some edits there. I am having a hard time editing stuff down. I think I've already gotten rid of like 3 big trash bags full of clothes, and I still have too much left. I've kind of got 3 things to consider when it comes to what clothes I can take. 1, how much will fit in 2 suitcases. 2, from what we can tell about apartments in London is they don't really have closets. At least from what we've seen online, especially in older buildings, there's no closet space. So you just have whatever will fit in a wardrobe or a dresser. We might even buy some of those metal standalone clothing racks just to have in our room so we can hang some clothes. But space is definitely going to be an issue. And then the third thing to consider is the laundry situation. Most of the units we've seen online do have washers, although they are much smaller than I think what general America is used to. Dryers are also not really a thing over there, especially in older buildings that don't have like dryer vent access. They just don't have dryers. Some units have a tumble dry option within the washing machine, but it doesn't have any heat. So also a portion of our apartment is probably just going to be dedicated to drying racks for our clothes. So the laundry thing is going to be a never-ending cycle. It's just something we're going to have to get used to. So I'm trying to only pick clothes that I really, truly know that I'm going to get a ton of wear out of. I won't mind washing it all the time because I'm going to be re-wearing it. But it's still hard to get rid of some of the things that I really like, but I don't wear all that often. It's tricky too because it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be the middle of winter when we get there, and so a lot of the winter clothes that I need to pack, the sweaters and the jackets and stuff, takes up a lot of room, the majority of the suitcase. So I'm kind of debating whether to just not bring any summer clothes whatsoever, since I really just need the winter stuff when we get there, and then maybe get some summer clothes when the weather heats up. I'm not sure. I also don't know what kind of clothes I'll need over there in terms of work. I don't know if I'm gonna get a job. What type of job will it be? Will it be an office job? Like, do I need to have business professional type clothes? Am I gonna be working from home? Like, I have no idea. It's really hard to choose things when I just don't know what I'm gonna need, you know? We do have some good news in that Odie's health certificates were approved. We got them back in the mail yesterday. I guess the bad part, or the unfortunate part about it, is the timing of when these certificates expire. So you have to have the certificates endorsed by the USDA within 10 days of arriving in the country that you're going to. And with it being so close to Christmas and New Year's, I was kind of worried about the timing of that. I didn't know if people were going to be off, what kind of staff they would have in the office during this time. So I guess got the papers there maybe a little bit sooner than I should have. The website said it took 3 business days to process the certificates and then have them mailed back to you. and they ended up processing ours immediately. Like within a day, they were done and they were sending them back to us, which is good that we have them. But now the timing is a little bit messed up because I was expecting it to take 3 days instead of 1 day. So now, if anything happens to our flights, if we get delayed a day, Odie's certificates expire and we have to do them all over again. So I'm just now crossing my fingers that nothing happens to our flights and that everything will be okay.
Enormous, instantaneous